What about him?
Apparently he's passed.
What?
No, no.
Hulk Hogan, nigga?
Yeah, man.
No.
The Hulkamaniac. Sorry.
God, no. No, God, please, no.
The good ones die young.
They took the wrong orange nigga, dog. See what I'm saying? You gotta be careful what you wish for. I said, yo, God, can you please kill this old racist orange motherfucker? I ain't mean Hulk, nigga. He took out Hulk, bro. They say God don't make no mistakes, though, buddy. But there was another orange nigga they could have took instead of Hulk. Man, come. All right, look, man. The internet is in an uproar, right? Cause most niggas ain't fucking with Hulk Hogan because of what he said, right? And some niggas can't help but fuck with Hulk Hogan because of his wrestling career. You're talking to a wrestling aficionado, right? I can talk wrestling all day, but I won't because I'm not a fucking geek, all right? However, this is what I'll say about Hulk Hogan. He was a complicated man. He was a real American. And when it came crashing down and it hurt inside, he had to be a man that didn't help to hide, man. If you hurt his friends, you hurt his pride, my nigga. If you hurt his money, you hurt his pride. Yeah, man, he's a flawed human being. Like everybody's a flawed human being. It's fuck every racist, right? No matter how nice you were on the outside. If you're racist, you're racist. But the thing about it is, right, there's duality in the world. Paul, what is our favorite word on this show, buddy?
Multiplicity.
Cognitive dissonance, my nigga.
I was this close.
Though cognitive dissonance means being able to hold two opposing ideas in your brain at the same time and being okay with it. It's a sign of maturity and it's a sign of intelligence. Hulk Hogan brought a lot of joy to a lot of people. He also seemed to be kind of a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he seemed to be a piece of shit to Jesse the Body when he ratted on this nigga when he was trying to unionize the wrestlers in the 80s. He was a piece of shit to Macho Man. He was a piece of shit to every wrestler that he tried to, like, fucking hold down so he can hold on to the last vestiges of his stardom, almost like the last vestiges of his hair hanging out that fucking bandana, nigga. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to hold on to what made him Hulk Hogan until the very end, my nigga. I was just in Tampa, my nigga. Motherfucking Hulk Hogan shop is still going strong. He got a restaurant. Nigga got a beer. Nigga got a Hulk Hogan tea and shit. Like an actual like tea and crumpets tea and shit. Nigga. And you know what I'm saying? He is a mega star that transcended the business that he was in, moved on to movies, did everything, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? And when you think of wrestling, I think you hear Macho Man's voice, and I think you think of Hulk Hogan. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Macho Man's voice is synonymous with wrestling. Like, anybody does an impression, they're probably going to try to do Macho Man, then maybe Hulk, then maybe other people, Rick, Dusty, all that kind of stuff. But most people think of Macho Man. And then when you picture a wrestler, you think of Hulk Hogan, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is wrestling for most people our age and maybe 20 years older. That said, he fucked over a lot of people, man. He did a lot of people dirty. His selfishness in the wrestling business led to the end of several companies, WCW, TNA. And then his selfishness and piece of shitness led to the end of his marriage and his family bonds, my nigga. He had a whole TV show about his family. And then he went and had sex with one of his good friends, Bubba the Love Sponge. Yes, there's a man on this earth whose name is Bubba the Love Sponge. And he's some fat, gelatinous, like, fucking, just super fat nigga who's on the radio. And he was a cuckold and let Hulk Hogan have sex with his wife. And he recorded the sessions with Hulk Hogan. Racist old orange nigga has his sexual deviancy recorded unbeknownst to him with the intention to blackmail him. That reminds me of somebody. I can't put my finger on it, buddy. I can't put my finger on it. But Bubba the Love Sponge recorded him having sex with his wife, recorded Hulk Hogan having sex with Bubba the Love Sponge's wife after he asked Hulk Hogan to do it. And then he released the tapes. And on said tapes, Hulk Hogan said that his worst fear on this earth was his daughter getting with a nigger. That's what he said. And he said that she basically turned on him by dating the nigger. And he couldn't understand that that was his worst fear. Why would you ever get with a nigger? And when it came out, they fired him from the WWE. And then he, being the evermost self-promoter and a nigga who knows how to get himself over, went on the long, arduous task of trying his best to say, look over here. And by saying, look over here, what he did was he waited like a year. He never apologized, I don't believe. He just had his friends come out and put cover on it. And he started going on a tour of telling stories and doing interviews where he tried to get himself over. And he told these, what I believe in 1980s were little white lies. But by the time it was 2014 and 2015, these became whopper well of lies, my nigga. And he's been going to that well over and over again, telling these lies. And then over time, we have a history of him talking about the same thing. And then we can say, hey, the story done changed. We don't have no history of you being the lead singer of Metallica and all this other kind of shit. This nigga was going to be in the fucking the Hell's Angels on the motorcycle. He could have been in the army. This nigga wrestled 370 days a year, because if you add it up, by the time he flew from Japan to wrestle back to America, that somehow added time back to the days. So he actually wrestled so many other days. Just all these whoppers, my nigga. He was going to have the juicer, the lean, mean grilling machine. He was going to endorse it instead of George Foreman, but he didn't know what it was. And he said, yo, just give it to George Foreman. All the people involved in these situations have come out and say, that is not true, man. And then the collection of lies over the years have caught up with him. And people started making long lists of all the lies he ever told. And that's what people started to know him as. Then the WWE, vis-a-vis Vince McMahon, said, now it's time to bring him back. Because people are hating on him or talking about him for something that isn't racism. So now we can bring him back. And if they choose to boo him, we can say, oh, they're booing him because he lied. Oh, we're booing him because the stories, all the wrestlers are doing shoot interviews. Shoot meaning telling the truth, and they're not working. Work interviews mean they're in character or in kayfabe. Shoot interviews mean they're telling the truth. So these wrestlers are coming out and telling how they really feel about Hulk Hogan and the things that he did. So his popularity is waning, but his infamy is actually growing, right? Because all the tall tales are catching up. It's like, I can't believe he said that. So everybody's talking about Hulk Hogan again. And instead of just being fuck Hulk Hogan, it's we're laughing at Hulk Hogan. Oh, Hulk Hogan's embarrassing. Oh, I can't believe Hulk Hogan said this. So that's something wrestling can work with. So they bring him out and he gets booed in California. And they're like, oh, that Hogan, they're mad because of those tall tales. No, nigga, they were booing you because you said the N-word, my nigga. Maybe white people forgot about you calling us niggers and saying you never want us to date your daughter and shit. But black people ain't forget. And that's the reason why we wasn't fucking with you. And so every time you got booed, just know that was the main situation. But when he talked about it, when they asked him, it was like, hey, how do you feel about, all this heat you're getting? Heat meaning like, bad attention. And he was like, yeah, man, they want to talk about the stuff I said that wasn't true or isn't true. But I watched Rocky get booed and nobody says anything to him. It's just part of the work. But when I come out and get booed, they want to act like it's because of just conveniently forgetting that you were a raging racist in your private life, my. After profiting off of black culture, wrestling is a microcosm of the real world, which is why you can draw so many similarities between Vince McMahon and Trump, and you can draw so many similarities between Hulk Hogan and Trump actually wrestled because politics is wrestling. Wrestling is a reflection of what's going on in America. When we were going to war with these different countries, they had characters that represented those different countries so that we could boo those characters and furthering the propaganda. They just profit off of the things that politicians already know. If they play to your base fucking desires and hatreds and biases, they can make money off of you. They can get you to vote a certain way. They can get you to buy a pay-per-view. They can get you to donate to their campaign. It's all the same shit. It all comes from the same place. So fucking Hulk Hogan would, well, we got to go back to Superstar Billy Graham. Superstar Billy Graham started doing the using black slang and dressing like a hippie, like a tie-dye or whatever, and saying black phrases and rhyming his words like a black man would. And then Hulk Hogan, a few other wrestlers borrowed that from him. He was the biggest wrestler. If you ever look him up, look up Superstar Billy Graham. He looks just like Hulk Hogan. Almost exactly like him. Like Hulk Hogan took his whole entire look and his whole entire rap. That's why everything was such and such brother. Oh, brother. Dude. Look, because it's him trying to stay relevant, trying to be hip. And when the 80s was out and the 90s came in, he got with the NWO. And the NWO used to listen to Master P and a lot of West Coast hip hop. And they would use Master P and West Coast hip hop slang. And then Hulk Hogan adopted some of that. That's where they got the NWO for life. That's gang culture in the West Coast. They would say we do this for life or we're down for forever and all that kind of stuff. The gang signs, throwing this up, that's the NWO sign. But where they get that from? The West Coast. All that kind of stuff. The tying the bandana to the front. These are the things. The Wolfpack's music was based on West Coast hip hop. Hulk Hogan changed his music from when it comes crashing down and it hurts inside. He changed his music from that to Jimi Hendrix. You know what I'm saying? And we all know from White Man Can't Jump, white people can't even hear Jimmy. You know what I'm saying? They listen to Jimmy, but you can't hear Jimmy. So he profited a lot off of black culture, black slang. There's videos of him listening to Jeezy. Because my mother once told me, she was like, I said, Ma, Dad's getting old, man. He's like walking around slow. He's like, it's just old. And she was like, because he hangs around all old people. And all he does is listen to old music and wear his old suits and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, me, that's why I made you play your music. When she would pick me up from high school, she'd say, play whatever you want. I'd be like, for real? She'd be like, yeah, play whatever you want. And I would play Beanie Siegel or something like that. And then she would listen to it. And unbeknownst to me, as when I graduated and moved on, her grandchildren, she would do the same thing. Her favorite song before she passed away was Pop Smoke. You know what I'm saying? Her favorite artist in the 90s, rap artist, was the Ghetto Boys. And she said this is how she kept herself young. She kept herself updated and abreast of what was going on. To Hulk Hogan's credit, this is what he always did. He always had his ear to the street of what was going on so he can leech off of it. You know what I'm saying? And he can further his career.
So he could vulture it.
Yeah, so he could culture vulture it. And unfortunately, instead of when Barack Obama was office, he was listening to Jeezy. You know what I'm saying? I can hear the beat. I can't hear the song.
Black, my Lambo's blue.
Nah, I'm a side to my die. I'm a gangster. Damn, I got my gangsters in the car and the boom boom. I'm not gonna remember, nigga. Fuck it. Do you hear what I'm trying to say?
Oh, and I love it.
Hey, yeah, that one. And unfortunately, he got his ear to the street, and his cheek to the curb, his face cheeks. Somebody paused me last time I said that.
Oh my God, you gotta let that phrase.
No, I refuse. It's so great.
Nigga got his cheeks on the curb.
Yeah, the nigga put his ear to the street and he was listening to what was going on in the last 4 years. And much like Andrew Schultz and Joe Rogan and all these other niggas, Hulk Hogan, being the consummate person, could tell where the vibes were going. And unfortunately, he became a Trump supporter because that's where it's going. Think about it. The UFC are inexplicably attached to Trump. The WWE is owned by the same niggas that own the UFC. So Hulk Hogan, whether he's going to be a Republican regardless or not, he never came out to the fucking Republican Party before.
Yeah.
He did it because for some reason white people convinced themselves that it was cool to be Republican, and dumb fucking niggas. Oh wait, I sound like Hulk Hogan. And our dumb black brethren also thought for some reason it was cool to be a Republican, and then they're all pedophiles and shit. Nigga. Oh shit, how did I get here, nigga? I thought we were just fucking making the libs cry and shit. We were just upsetting the libs. Like, no, you were actually attaching yourself to the worst people on the planet Earth. And unfortunately for Hulk Hogan, he kind of fit in with the Republicans and with the Republican Party and Trump and what that whole thing stands for, and MAGA. And he's racist at his soul. He comes from a racist time period. I mean, when he came out and said the racist things, everybody was so surprised, but honestly, I wasn't, because if you're over 45, you have to prove to me you're not racist if you're white and over 45, because you just come from a racist town. I mean, it just is what it is. Like, I'm talking about even if you were born in the 70s and 80s, my nigga.
It's better for you, my nigga.
Yeah, life is just easier as a racist.
You didn't have to care nothing about these minorities.
Yeah, you got to prove it. And I'll be honest with you. To be honest, even these younger kids got to start proving it again, because all these niggas is caught up in all that extra right-wing shit now. Niggas is out here talking about they're authoritarians and want a king and shit. Like, you got to prove to me if you're white, you don't suffer from crippling depression and loneliness and a fucking inferiority complex and are scared of everything that's not you. Got to prove it. And this nigga Hulk Hogan is old, and as much as wrestling tried to emulate black culture, they never really wanted blacks down with them. And Hulk Hogan's just proof of that. He's just proof of that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Hulk Hogan was a complicated man. I don't have a problem hating that nigga because I hated him when I was young. Truth be told, I rooted for the bad guys. Not all bad guys, but when I was young, I liked Ric Flair. I liked Jake the Snake. I liked, because they were the ones who could talk that shit. Hulk Hogan would get in there and be like, well, you know, brother, you eat your pills and you say your prayers and your vitamins. And I'm like, that don't appeal to me. But a nigga get in there and say, Hulk Hogan, you coward. I'll break you and then I'll sleep with your woman. Hulk Hogan. Like, shout outs to my man. He went on the mic and he was like, Hulk Hogan, I was out in LA and I was looking for a woman. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about a woman, baby. And I went out in LA trying to find me a woman. And I didn't find me a woman. I found me a man dressed like a woman. And Hulk Hogan, that seems more fitted for you because you're a sissy. That's back in that 80s talk, nigga. They ain't sugarcoat, boy. They got straight to the point. And so I was more so impressed with the people who could talk that shit. Hulk Hogan could talk, don't get me wrong, but his rap, excuse the phrase, was just not for me. So it was easier for me to hate him. Then he switched it up. He remade himself into Hollywood Hulk Hogan, and he got cooler by exponential margin. And it was by emulating the other niggas in the NWO, emulating black culture, and he got cooler. And I fucked with him for a couple of years. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with understanding that what Hulk Hogan gave me in the wrestling business is not necessarily negated by who Terry Bollea is. You know what I'm saying? And all you people out there that don't understand what I'm saying, look yourself in the mirror and look at your playlist and tell me if you're still listening to R. Kelly. And then you know exactly what I'm talking about. So many black men online are like, fuck Hulk Hogan. If you're sad that he died, you're a fucking the racist character played by Samuel L. Jackson in the movie Django Unchained. Ha ha, I said the thing. Nah, nigga, you still playing R. Kelly. So you know exactly what it is, nigga. And personally, how I feel is, why does my childhood gotta be ruined because R. Kelly decided to fuck some kids, my nigga? So now all our childhood, not only that kid he messed with and me and my childhood gotta be messed with? No. I'm preserving my childhood, nigga. Like, the songs I liked when I was a kid, I Believe I Can Fly is one of the greatest songs ever made. I don't care that it was made by R. Kelly. Does that mean I want R. Kelly to stay up under the jail? Bury that nigga, right? I don't want to hear from him no more. Even though that song he put out, I need my publishing. That shit was fire, nigga. But whatever, my nigga. Put that nigga up under the jail. You know what I'm saying? He's not somebody to. He's such a foul person that fuck him, and fuck Terry Bollea, and R.I.P. Hulk Hogan. Too bad Hulk Hogan died maybe 10 years ago. But the legacy that Hulk Hogan leaves is separate from Terry Bollea. And honestly, black people, you got to learn that you don't have to wrestle with your conscience. Whoa, pause, nigga. Fuck out of here, nigga. The greatest nigga of all time, nigga.